Excellencies, distinguished guests, contemporary literature on Africa paints a very positive vista of the continent's prospect, portraying it as the El Dorado of the 21st century. The narrative on Africa as the next pole of growth and prosperity has come to be accepted by all. This confirms the prophecy of our leaders, who on the eve of the new millennium in 1999 declared that the next century will be the African century. This more robust economic performance is also having an effect on socio-economic conditions on human development in general. In 2010 and 11 UN report assessing the 2015 Millennium Development Goals indicate that sub-Saharan Africa progress has been made in reducing absolute poverty, with improvements in primary education enrollment and a decline in under-5 infant mortality rates. Our common objectives remain to define and build a trajectory that extracts the continent from poverty and underdevelopment. Among the core attributes of the African agenda are the shared values of consistent political and democratic freedom, the development of and modernization of African productive forces. All this must take place within the context of a renewed momentum of the continent's economic integration. Key to integration is the development of our infrastructure connectivity between our countries and regions to facilitate people-to-people relations and to facilitate intra-African trade and intra-African tourism. Excellencies, the only way to ensure success in our continent's endeavors is to move together as one united continent and people. Unity is our watchword. Unity is our salvation. Indeed, as Prime Minister Lumumba said in 1960, I quote, "We all know and the whole world knows that Algeria is not French, that Angola is not Portuguese, that Kenya is not English, and Rwanda, Burundi is not Belgian. We know that Africa is neither French We know that Africa is neither French, nor British, nor American, nor Russian, but it is African." So as we approach the next hills, let us recall the vision for our continent as articulated by the African Union and which guides the work of the Commission, an integrated, prosperous and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the global arena. Next year, of course, we will be celebrating 50 years of our anniversary. And we must make sure that we are able to celebrate the achievements of 50 years, but also indicate to ourselves and to the continent and the rest of the world where we want to go in the next 50 years. Furthermore, when we gather to celebrate in May 2020, we should indeed be charting our way forward for the next 50 years. And this should be our agenda in the coming months, and of course completed beyond 2030. Excellencies, all these challenges require an organizational machinery that is equal to the task of implementing our vision of an integrated, prosperous, peaceful and people-centered Africa. There has been progress in strengthening. The Commission is an instrument created by and for member states of the Union. It does not exist in a vacuum and cannot work in a vacuum. It shall therefore remain and maintain a close contact with the member states through the PRC, which plays a critical role in implementing decisions of the African Union, heads of state, and the vision of our continent. And I would just like to refer to the Olympics, to the London Olympics. It was very heartening. One evening, I was watching the track events, and we could see the great talent in our continent and the diaspora. And we must therefore continue to build relations with our brothers and sisters, ensure that they make even greater inputs into the development of the continent. We must also improve our resource mobilization for our continent and regional programs. A lot more needs to be done to mobilize resources from within our continent, in addition to the support that we get from our partners. We must provide for our development whilst not cutting ourselves from the support that we graciously receive from our cooperating partners. To our global partners, we express our appreciation for the support to the African Union. We must continue to work and re-evaluate our strategic partnership with a view to enhance them and to ensure that they focus on the strategic priorities of the continent. We must build partnerships that are mutually beneficial. Your Excellencies, I would like to reiterate that we should look at ourselves as a continent, not only as individual countries. We are a formidable force as the continent if we are united, but if we are divided, we are very weak. Nobody can ignore us united. Nobody cannot see the continent as a force of global change if we look at ourselves collectively as a continent. So I accept this responsibility, encouraged by the fact that the continent is full of possibilities and opportunities. And I take this responsibility with the hope that together, united in our diversity, driven by our love of our continent and its people, shall every day do our best to bring the reality that was declared that the African century is the 21st century. So together with our team, we shall do our best, and we hope that we'll get all the support that we need. And I'd like to conclude by thanking our host for the support that it has given and will continue to give to the AU and the commissioners, but also to wish the outgoing chair bon voyage and good health and good wishes for your future endeavors, and we will be in touch. Thank you.